Yeah, let's unpack this for a second. Imagine a business where the entire staff is made of code. Like the CEO, the engineers, the QA testers, they're all AI. What if the company of the future literally had 0 human employees?
Yeah, that is exactly what we are getting into today. We are doing a deep dive into the Denarii DeFi architectural blueprint.
Right.
And this blueprint really explores this shift from the highly speculative Web3 we've all heard about over to what they are calling a machine economy.
And our mission today is really to just break down what that actually means for you, right? Because we're looking at a pretty massive structural shift here.
Absolutely, because, the internet is evolving. It used to just be this simple communication layer, but now it's turning into this invisible execution layer. We're moving toward a reality where capital and decisions move at, API speed.
So instant software-to-software communication.
Exactly, completely free of human latency. Because
Right.
in this model, every time a system has to wait for a human to click an approval button, that delay is literally viewed as an economic leakage. But wait, humans aren't just bottlenecks in, typing or clicking. We're bottlenecks in banking. I mean,
Right.
if an AI is going to run a company, how does it actually pay for things or sign contracts?
Right. It can't just walk into a bank branch.
Right, exactly.
Which is why the blueprint relies so heavily on DLT, or distributed ledger technology.
Yeah.
Machines need a trustless way to handle money without traditional accounts. Denarii DeFi uses this thing they call the Trinity of DLT.
The Trinity of DLT.
Yeah, they basically weave 3 distinct ledgers together.
Mm-hmm.
The XRP Ledger, Algorand, and Hedera.
Wait, slow down. You just named 3 completely different blockchains. Why not just use one?
That's it.
And I remember the blueprint mentions pure mathematical finality with Algorand. What does that actually do for a business with 0 humans?
Well, the thing is, no single chain can do everything perfectly.
Right.
So they use the XRP Ledger for really high-speed value transfer, and then they use Algorand for that mathematical finality you mentioned.
Which means what, exactly? It simply means once a transaction happens, it is instantly permanent. There is 0 risk of the network splitting or reversing a transaction.
Which I guess is pretty crucial if machines are making thousands of rapid-fire financial decisions, right?
Exactly. You don't want an AI second-guessing if a payment actually cleared. And finally, they stack Hedera on top for these sub-second audit trails. By combining these 3, AI agents can execute really complex tasks across different networks without getting crushed by massive gas fees.
So it's almost like if the old internet was a static digital library where we just passively read things, this new version is an automated factory executing decisions while we sleep.
That's a great analogy. But, an automated factory needs a reliable manager. You can't just have autonomous bots running loose.
Right, that sounds like a disaster.
Total disaster. Enter the paperclip AI orchestrator. It takes these autonomous agents and organizes them into rigid, traditional corporate hierarchies. You literally have a CEO agent, an engineer agent, and so on.
There is a pretty massive catch here, though. The blueprint brings up this thing called the memento man problem. Because, AI models essentially have amnesia, right?
Yeah, they basically wake up completely blank between every single prompt. They lose all their context.
Which is disastrous if you're trying to run an ongoing business.
Oh, for sure. But the orchestrator fixes this with a 2-part memory system. First, there's this heartbeat checklist. It's a mandatory brief that agents have to process before taking any action. It reminds them of their persona and their immediate goals.
Okay.
And second, they use a PRA file system. Projects, areas, resources, archives.
Oh, I see. So it's like giving an amnesiac a highly organized filing cabinet that they're forced to read every morning before they start working.
That is exactly it.
And that way they retain their operational history without overloading their token window, which is basically the AI's short-term memory limit.
Right. They only load the specific files they need for that exact task.
Okay, but here is where it gets a little terrifying. If an amnesiac AI is running a really complex, multi-step process, completely unsupervised, wouldn't a single mistake, like a hallucination, just compound and eventually destroy the business?
Yes. And the blueprint actually defines that exact fear mathematically as the measurability gap.
The measurability gap.
Yeah. It's this danger zone where automating cognitive tasks becomes so incredibly cheap that people just start deploying unverified systems, and the math validates the fear perfectly.
Wait, really? What do the numbers look like?
Well, a standard 10-step AI task, even if you assume a 95% accuracy rate per step.
Which sounds pretty good.
Right, it sounds good, but it degrades to just a 59.8% success rate by the end. The errors just snowball.
Wow, okay. If the degradation is that severe, they must be forcing these systems to audit their own work before moving forward. Like, they can't just let the first AI run wild.
Exactly. They fix it by introducing an independent quality assurance agent. Its only job is to audit the work at intermediate checkpoints.
Just smart.
Yeah, and when you have a separate AI verifying the first AI's output, that end-to-end error rate plummets from over 40% down to just 0.25%.
That is wild. And that reliability is basically the engine behind their 5 pillars of enterprise automation,
Sure.
right? I mean, we were talking about AI replacing entire software suites here, automated social campaigns replacing HubSpot, treasury agents replacing Nansen Analytics, project tickets replacing Jira.
It's massive. The blueprint estimates this eliminates so much human management friction that businesses will save over $100,000 a year.
So what does this all mean for you listening to this right now?
Well, it's definitely a moment to evaluate your own daily workflows. Look at the software you use. Look at the repetitive tasks you do. Are they essential, or are they just structured inefficiencies waiting for an AI agent to optimize them away?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot to chew on, but there is one final detail in this blueprint that is just impossible to ignore.
Oh, yeah, the token gate.
Right. Access to this paperclip orchestrator isn't just, a standard software subscription. You actually have to hold at least 2% of the total DFI token supply just to get past the cryptographic gate.
Which is a huge barrier to entry.
It really is. And it makes you wonder, right? If the ultimate keys to autonomous infrastructure require such a massive financial stake, will this self-operating internet just become an exclusive walled garden? Like, will the zero-human company of the future just be a playground reserved entirely for cryptographic whales?